Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're back with Tlaxtlan Soothsayer versus ODM Slayer in the Total War Fantasy League Qualifier. This is actually game number 1. Figured I'd bring you games 1 and 3 together on the same video since they're both relatively short battles. So let's go ahead and jump straight to the army composition. Since this battle is going to be really fast, I'll go ahead and pause it while I'm going over the armies here. So we're having a look at Slayer's army here. He is taking the Beastmen in his first matchup, led by a Beast Lord on a chariot. He's got a very cheap kit with just the Totem of Rust for a, definitely looking to spend his resources elsewhere. He's also got a Brave Shaman Lord of Death on foot, carrying just Spirit Leech and Fate of Una. Very good stuff. Solo unit of Ungor Raiders, and we've got a very, very wide army here. 4 Gore Herds up front, no shields on these guys. We've got Ungor Spearman Herd towards the flanks. We've also got 4 Razor Gore herds spread throughout the army. We've got one here in the rear, and there's some more hidden somewhere else around here. Let's see. I believe, sorry, there's only 3, so just the 3 here in the back line. And what this is going to allow the Beastmen to do is separate their AP from their, main line infantry, and kind of soak these Gore herds, Razor Gore herds rather, wherever they need to, and the Gore herds can kind of take that main line infantry engagement. Going to be very important up against the Dark Elves. He's also got some Centaurs with great weapons and some Centaurs with throwing axes. Got a Centaur with great weapon here and another here. Poison Warhounds and some throwing axes here. Let's see. It looks like one more great weapon and throwing hound group out on the far side here, and that looks to be about everything. For Tlaxtlan Soothsayer's army, he's taking the Dark Elves. He's got Malekith up on his dragon. Front line is going to be, looks like Blackguard Corsairs here. A couple of Bleak Swords, 1, 2, 3, 4 Dread Spears. Looks like another Bleak Sword here. We've got Dark Riders with shields, 1 unit of Cold One Knights, and another Dark Rider with shields here. In addition, he's also got 2 Dark Shards and a Death Hag up on her Cauldron of Blood. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Kick things into full gear, and well, you guys already know what happens, but mostly I just wanted to show you guys Slayer's build here because I thought it was really cool having the the Gore herds and the Razor Gore herds as well, kind of giving you that double line synergy. Going to be really, really powerful. But let's go ahead and just watch. Malekith's going to come forward here. He's not really honestly too worried about taking that Ungor Raider missile fire, but let's go ahead and look at Malekith's spell loadout here briefly, as he looks like he's charging up potentially for a breath attack. He's got Gaze of Malice, Soul Stealer, and Chill Wind. So looking to be potentially getting some healing back. So if this Deathcaster does choose to Spirit Leech Malekith, he'll be able to recover some of that damage back. But let's see. Slayer's doing a really good job of just keeping this Centaur throwing axes here kind of in the back line. This is exactly what you want to do with these guys when your opponent has a dragon. It's just kind of mirror their movements. Wherever they go, you want to just screen out and just perpetually keep throwing those throwing axes into Malekith, because they'll do quite a bit of damage. You can see the main line engagements going down here. These relatively low-tier Beastmen infantry the relatively low-tier Dark Elf infantry are going to suffer pretty badly to the Beastmen straight up. Obviously, with Malekith down in here, that's going to change things, but you can see the Woo Pigs rolling through here, doing their hog call thing. Going to be just straight up wrecking through that main line. The terror from the Death Hag and Malekith, though, is pretty strong. They've been able to rout off the center pocket here. Beast Lord is still rampaging around, and you can see that perpetual fire from the Ungor Raiders coming in. The Centaurs with throwing axes also doing a very good job just staying right on station where they need to be. It looks like they're actually going to be throwing their axes into the Death Hag, which is also a very good target here. Now the Centaurs are being brought in on this flank here, and they're going to be able to collapse kind of on these overextended troops here. Looks like we've got some Dark Riders with shields going to be taken care of. These Bleak Swords are also going to be charged into very well. You can see the Woo Pigs have gotten into this front line, and I didn't actually mean to pause it there. I just wanted to go slow-mo. But you can see they've gotten into the front line and just absolutely destroyed these Bleak Swords here. They are enraged. Well, at least one unit's enraged, but still the others are going to be able to micro, so you can see him pulling back exactly what he needs to be doing, charging into this fat, juicy blob of Dark Shards and Shades here. Going to be doing a ton of damage. The Hounds are also on station. Poison Hound's going to be making a really nice catch here, catching Malekith on the ground, and with the Centaurs with throwing axe, Centaurs with great weapons on station, they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. He does have a little bit of support here with these Cold One Knights fighting in this pocket as well, but the Centaurs with great weapons, there's just way too many of them. You can see the throwing axes are just perpetually throwing in, as well as the Ungor Raiders, just keeping up the missile pressure on this Death Hag, who has taken quite a bit of damage. the armor-piercing anti-infantry of these Razor Gore herds. Granted, they don't have technically anti-infantry damage per se, but their armor-piercing damage can help quite a bit in this situation. You can see the Cold One Knights are getting routed off, and the Dread Spears here not going to be able to hold up for too much longer. Soothsayer has managed to secure his Dark Shards in a line here, but there's just so much chaos and disarray going through here. You can see the Beast Lords now getting another charge through here, another chill one going down as well. But the Beast Lord's just going to be running through these lines and doing his armor-piercing anti-infantry thing. Malekith's trying to come down and get on top of the Beast Lord, but Slayer doing an excellent job here, screening out with the Centaurs with great weapons and the Poison Hounds here. You're actually going to be able to block Malekith, while the Chariot continues through and just runs over these Dark Shards here. And with that, Tlaxtlan Soothsayer does admit defeat, so it is going to be a win for Slayer in Game 1. Of course, you guys knew that already, or at least you would if you had watched the first video I made where I covered Game 2. I figured I'd throw this one in with Game 3 since it was, they're both relatively short battles, so let's go ahead and jump into Game 3 here. So, this is for all the marbles now. Tlax, took Game 2. Slayer took that first game in a very handy victory, so this time Tlax has got the Beastmen, and Slayer's got the Wood Elves here, so for the Beastmen, same kind of deal. We've got a nice cheap Beast Lord on the Chariot. He's also got a Beret Shaman Buddy, Lore of Death, 4 Gore Herds with shields. Let's go ahead and pause things just a minute, because you can see there's this huge Vanguard kind of situation over here, so let's go ahead and go through things real quick before it gets too hog wild up in here. So yeah, we've got the 4 Gore Herds with shields. We've also got a single Best Gore Herd, just for that elite armored option. Again, Beast Lord looks like he's on the Chariot. Yep, we've got some Ungor Spears smattered around the Spearman Herd here. Spearman Herd with shields up front, another Spearman Herd with shields up front here, and another Spearman Herd out on the far flank. We've got 2 Centaurs with throwing axes, and an additional 2 Centaurs with throwing axes over here, I believe. Yep, they're right here. We've also got 4 regular Centaurs. And yeah, there's the Brave Shaman Lore of Death. For Slayer's Wood Elves, let's see what he's brought here. He's got the 3 Dryads. Looks like a unit of Deepwood Scouts. Glade Riders, another Deepwood Scout here, so 2 Deepwood Scouts total. A Wild Rider, so Wild Rider and Glade Rider over here. He's got Starfire Shafts and Starfire Shafts. Another Wild Rider out here. Looks like he's got a Glady up on the Dragon. I'd imagine she's going to be carrying Brave Anathrema. She also has Arrows of Kurnus. The War Dancers with Azrai Spear. Looks like one of them held in reserve in the back here. Another Wild Rider also right here. So 3 total Wild Riders kind of spread around the battlefield. We've got the 2 Glade Guards with Starfire Shafts. The 2 Deepwood Scouts, which is an interesting pick, not something I see very often, but let's go ahead and kick things into full gear, and immediately the Beastmen forces are going to be charging in. Although Wild Riders are much better than Centaurs, in their base stats, Wild Riders will suffer when they're outnumbered this badly. You can see they're already taking a ton of damage, and this is quickly turning into a very favorable situation for the Beastmen. Also able to get in on these Deepwood Scouts here with the Throwing Axe variant. Of course, they're going to be really good in melee as well. So this Glady with the Dragon, yep, looks like she's immediately just going to be dropping down in here, probably hoping for a quick tear out, but this could potentially be a very big mistake. Since there are Centaurs all around here, they're fast enough to pin this Glady on the ground, and if the infantry support gets here, it's going to be a really bad day. See that Earthblood being dropped from the, I must have missed that, Lore of Life Spellsinger. Looks like she's got Earthblood and Awakening the Wood, actually, which is pretty decent against low armor targets and does apply a nice little speed debuff. So it looks like this Glady's going to be immediately pouncing on this Beast Lord, trying to take him out as quickly as possible. Actually, no, it looks like she's actually pulling back up into the air. She was able to tear out away one of these units of Centaurs, but the Wild Riders took a ton of damage in this situation. Maybe routing off 1 or 2 groups of Centaurs, but the Wild Riders took an absolute shellacking. The Deepwood Scouts managed to pull back one of them. This other one also doing a good job of pulling back here, but these Glade Guards with Starfire Shafts have no protection whatsoever out here on the flank. They're going to be easily caught by these Centaurs with throwing axes and taken out of the battlefield, so really rough situation for the Wood Elves. You can see the Wild Riders here being caught on the back hoof by these Ungor Spearman Herd, and things are quickly turning in the Beastmen's favor. You can see just Vestigor Herd running through, chasing down these Deepwood Scouts. Although the Deepwood Scouts do have Fire and 360, they don't have the best AP stats. So let's go ahead and see here. Yeah, they don't have the best AP stats. I think they have like 4 armor piercing. Yep, 4 armor piercing, but still. You can see the Glade Riders also kind of just sitting back here. The Glady was able to goon that Beast Lord very effectively. The Beast Lord is pretty much going to be shattered at this point, if not dead. which is really nice for the Wood Elves player. But you can see the balance of power has turned, even despite the loss of leadership here, balance of power has already turned slightly in the Beastmen's favor, just because they've been able to take out so many resources worth of value from the Wood Elves. They got the one unit of Glade Guards. This other one has been able to rally and secure here, but the Deepwood Scouts are perpetually being chased by Bestigor Herd and other units, so they're really not able to get value where they need to be. This one little pocket of Wood Elf infantry here is going to be collapsed on by superior beastmen numbers, and they're going to be able to pretty easily take out these dryads and everything here. So you can see the Gors charging in through the woods here, kind of these gnarly, kind of scrub oak woods, I guess you could say, but looks really, really cool nonetheless. Yeah, the Wood Elves are going to be suffering pretty badly here. Really nice awakening in the wood, though, going to be going off and growing some nice trees right in the middle of the beastmen's midst here. But yeah, it's going to be a rough situation overall for the poor Wood Elves here. Nice breath attack there. Actually, probably doing a little bit more friendly fire than enemy damage. It's hard to say. Sometimes those breath attacks, when you fire them into melee, end up doing a lot of friendly fire damage. But Wild Riders here clashing with the Centaurs with just regular Centaurs, actually. They should be able to do some damage, but there's just too many Centaurs here. The numbers game is just against the Wild Riders, and they are going to be finished off there. So things are looking rough for the Wood Elves. Glady's desperately charging down now into the situation to try and goon the Deathcaster, as he's the last leadership the Beastmen have. But still, it's just not going to be enough at this point. There's the Centaurs with throwing axes on station, which will do a lot of damage to the Glady on the Dragon. She only has 50 armor at the end of the day as well, so even something like an Ungor Raider will potentially do a lot of damage here. But yeah, she's going to be having a rough situation trying to escape now out of this fight. Preavana Threma dropped to hold one of these Centaurs in place. But there's just so many Centaurs everywhere, all over the battlefield, that it's going to be really hard to secure, and all the Beastmen infantry still relatively healthy. We've got the one unit of Dryads for the Wood Elves that's healthy as well. Going to be charging through the scrub lands here, and Spellsinger also doing her Kamehameha thing against the Beastmen here, but it's just not going to be enough with this situation. Really nice awakening in the wood, very beautiful cinematic spell. Slayer being a very good sportsman here, just playing to the end, trying his best to bring things back. And yeah, at this point, I mean, if he was able to goon the Deathcaster, he might be able to bring this back, but even still, the leadership of the Beastmen, just because they're so far ahead at this point on the balance of power, he might get a little bit of a terror route here in this center pocket here. Yeah, it looks like actually a couple of units do go there, but the Centaurs are just too much at this point. There's too many of them on the field. They still got a lot of ammo and everything, and they're going to be able to pin this Glady on the ground. She's pretty much done for at this point, so yeah. Very well played to both players. It was a very enjoyable series to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I'm going to be bringing you some more from the qualifier, so stay tuned for more. We'll definitely be getting some more series. We're going to be following Tlax through some of his series, as well as Tur, who you guys may have seen. I casted a few of his games earlier, so we're going to be following both of them through some of their series. Yadav, who actually fought in his first tournament in the qualifier. I'm also going to be casting some of his games, so lots of tournament action coming down the pipeline. Hope you guys are excited. Let's go ahead and take a look at the army breakdown here. Tail of the tape on this one is really the Centaurs, just carrying the day, getting that early, very favorable engagement on the Wild Riders, and that's one of the risks with Vanguard deploying like that, and so heavily investing. I mean, Slayer invested quite a few Wild Riders. He had the Deepwood Scouts in Vanguard over there. He had the Dryads, so he invested pretty heavily in that Vanguard situation. And it kind of ended up biting him in the back a little bit, because there were so many Centaurs over on that flank that they were able to just immediately rush in and do a lot of damage. That set Soothsayer off right from the beginning of the battle, and it made it really hard for Slayer to come back in the game. He tried his best, was able to rack up quite a few kills, 68 on the Glady Dragon. You know, some good damage here done on the Dryads as well, definitely. But just the Wild Riders not paying off was the biggest stumble here. Getting that early engagement, like I said, with those Centaurs was the key here for Soothsayer. So very well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.